lecturer. Today our topic reproduction in organisms. Already I prepared one video that is about clearly the chromosome number in different organisms. You can watch that video. Trick to remember chromosome number in different organisms. But now the discussion on asexual reproduction in different organisms. Asexual reproduction. It is a debate. It is a discussion on asexual reproduction. So first statement, look at there. Single parent offspring clones. Single parent offspring clones. Yes. Here the offsprings are formed from only one parent. All offsprings are forming from one parent. These all offsprings are exactly similar to parent. Why? These offsprings are not formed after meiotic division. Without meiotic division, the offsprings are forming. So if there is no meiosis, there is no pogetin, there is no crossing over. If there is no crossing over, there is no genetic variation. So that is why offsprings are exactly similar to parents. They are called clones. Whereas when you go to sexual reproduction, definitely two parents are required. Even the statement is also not correct. Two parents are required. For example, you take an earthworm, only one parent, but their male and female reproductive organs are present in the same organism. It means the fission of two gametes. Fission of two gametes is called sexual reproduction. When the gametes are formed by the meiosis, definitely there is a crossing over. If there is no crossing over, there is a genetic variation. So, genetic variation is possible in the sexual reproduction. The offsprings are formed through sexual reproduction. Those offsprings are not exactly similar to parents. Why? There is a meiosis for the formation of gametes. Here no meiosis. So very, very clear important. Then you go for asexual reproduction. Here asexual reproduction seen in single cell organisms and also in plants, in some of the plants and some of the animals like hydra. And very important point, look at in the bacteria. Bacteria, their binary fission takes place. Binary fission means one bacterial cell divided into two daughter cells. Immediately, one doubt. Even in plants also, one cell divided into two daughter cells, like in animals also same. What is the difference there and here? Yes, in plants and animals, there is a mitotic division. It is not a mitotic division. It is amitosis. No spindle fiber formation. Here, one bacterial cell divided into two daughter cells. That is called binary fission. So the binary fission seen in Monera member bacteria and also Protista paramecium and amoeba. Very important. And when you go to yeast and hydra, it is a single cell. It is a single cell organism. It is a multicellular organism. Their bud formation is present. The asexual spores may be motile or non-motile. Non-motile spores are called aplanospores. The motile spores are called zoospores. The formation can be seen in chalophytes like algae and fungi. That in pericillium, coridia formation is present. Gemmule formation seen in spawns. And asexual reproduction and vegetative reproduction same. For example, you take runners, stolons, suckers, offsets. These are all subaerial stem modifications. So look at here, runners, stolons, suckers, offsets, even bulb. Bulb is the underground stem. Rhizome, corm, stem tuber, bulb. You know that one, bulb is underground. So these are all vegetative propagules helpful for vegetative propagation. And according to NCERT, this point is very, very important about water hyacinth that is introduced into India. Actually, this water hyacinth reducing the oxygen level in the water. So, especially the terror of Bengal is because of water hyacinth. This water hyacinth is reducing the oxygen in water. It may cause death of the fishes also. And here, you know, potato tuber. Here, rhizome, corm, stem tuber, bulb, underground stem modification, and banana. In banana also rhizome, helpful for vegetative propagation. You take in bryophyllum, especially in the leaf margins. You take this is the leaf, buds formation is present. These buds are called epiphyllous buds. If the buds are formed, when the buds are formed in the leaf, when the buds are formed in the leaf, that is called epiphyllous buds. When each bud can separate from the leaf, that each bud can develop into a complete plant, helpful for vegetative properties. And especially in this algae and fungi, asexual reproduction generally takes place. But why these plants are converting from asexual reproduction to sexual reproduction? Because when the adverse conditions are available, when unfavorable conditions are there, these plants converted from asexual reproduction to sexual reproduction. So this asexual and sexual reproduction common in plants, but in animals, sexual reproduction majority takes place. It is the introduction and information about asexual reproduction.
Next topic, sexual reproduction. You know, for sexual reproduction, two parents are involved. Exactly the statement is not there. The exact statement is two gametes involvement is there. Fission of two gametes. These gametes are formed by the meiosis. So that is why the offsprings are formed through sexual reproduction definitely shows variations. Those offsprings are not exactly similar to parents because the gametes are formed by the meiosis. That's important thing. Here, very important thing we have to discuss the BRS. In living organisms, in highly evolved organisms, that may be plants or animals, their three growths are presented, three phases are there: vegetative phase, reproductive phase, and senescent phase. Mainly, when converting the vegetative phase to reproductive phase or reproductive to senescent phase, hormones play an important role. Very, very important. Here, juvenile phase or vegetative phase, it is the end phase. Especially in annuals and biennials. Annual example, Oryza sativa. Biennial example, radish, carrot, beetroot. These plants can synthesize the food materials during the first year and utilizing the food materials for the production of flowers during the second year. It's a very proper mechanism is there. So these annuals and biennials shows clearly vegetative phase, reproductive phase, and senescent phase. So there is a clear phases are there, vegetative, reproductive, and senescent phases, but not exactly seen in perennials. For example, you take bamboo. So here the bamboo can grow up to 50 to 100 years. After 50 to 100 years only, they produce the flowers and finally forms the fruits and it will die. And one more example, look at there. Here, Strobilanthes, Neela Kurinji. These plants are perennials which can produce the flowers for every 12 years. And an important thing here, generally birds are perennials. So these birds lays their eggs seasonally. But here, very, very important term is there, look at here. The placental mammals exhibiting the cyclical changes. Cyclical changes in the activities of ovaries and axillary ductus as well as hormones during the reproductive phase. Especially during the reproductive phase, these females of placental mammals, mainly females of placental mammals exhibiting the cyclical changes in the activities of ovaries and axillary ducts as well as hormones, especially during the reproductive phase. Here, non-primate mammals and primate mammals are there. These non-primate mammals, like example, cow, sheep, rat, geese, dog, tiger, that cyclic changes are called oestrocycles. Oestrocycles. Whereas here in the primate mammals, the cycles are called menstrual cycles. And one more important point, sir, the plants which are growing in natural and wild conditions, they show cycles only in proper favorable conditions, hence they are called seasonal breeders. Whereas, like human being, here, these, these organisms are called continuous breeders. And mainly, the hormones play an important role in the conversion of vegetative phase to reproductive phase, reproductive to sexual phase. This is the introduction about the reproduction. Then we go about pre-fertilization, fertilization, post-fertilization. How the gametes are forming, how fertilization takes place. After that, post-fertilization changes we will discuss.